Hey everybody, welcome back to C.Dat.Guy Review Movies. My name's Christian and we are headed towards the end of the year, but my state seems to be on pause as the number of COVID cases have increased over the last couple of weeks. I was actually supposed to watch and review Freaky, but things didn't go my way. Hopefully, I'll be able to watch it once everything on the outside seems a bit safer. If not, then I'll just watch it on streaming when it's available. Since that was out of the picture, I just looked for another movie to watch. And once again, I resorted to streaming to fulfill my movie watching needs. So I just scanned Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime to see what was the most recent, and I found one. My intent was not to replace Freaky with another horror movie, but this just ended up being one. So today, I'll be reviewing Run. I think I saw the trailer for Run way back in February when I was watching The Invisible Man, and it got my interest. But because that felt like an eternity ago, I just completely forgot about this movie. It was apparently supposed to drop on Mother's Day, but just like everything else, it got pulled from release and delayed indefinitely due to COVID. But fortunately, it seems that Hulu picked it up right before Thanksgiving, and it got some buzz, so I decided to check it out. The story goes like this. A mother named Diane, played by Sarah Paulson, takes care of her teenage wheelchair-bound daughter named Chloe, played by Kira Allen, who is chronically ill with arrhythmia, hemochromatosis, asthma, diabetes, and paralysis. The relationship between them seems normal, as we see them go through a daily routine of homeschooling, eating, gardening, and rehabilitation. However, Chloe begins to observe some of Diane's odd behaviors and suspects that her mother is hiding something from her. And that happens within the first 20 minutes of the movie, so I don't want to spoil the rest of it. I know that Sarah Paulson has been on the rise thanks to her many appearances on the American Horror Story franchise, and she won major awards for her appearance on The People vs. O.J. Simpson, but this is the first time I've actually seen her in anything. I thought she was great and frightening. What really scared me were her facial expressions and the tones in her voice. At one moment, she could be relaxed, in another moment, she could be on the edge of a nervous breakdown, and at other times, she was either like slightly aggressive or even just passive aggressive. Whatever the situation was, I was not okay with her. The real star of the show was Kira Allen. This was her film debut, and I thought she did a fantastic job. She was intelligent, clever, driven, and even honest in times of when she was faced with suspicion. And she really showed the desperation when she realized she could be held captive in her home. What I didn't know before is that she is actually wheelchair bound in real life. So she wasn't just an actress who is playing someone in a wheelchair. And I don't know if that was the director's intention, but this certainly made her performance more convincing. There's an elaborate sequence where she has to move around without her wheelchair, which seemed like forever, and it looked difficult to do as she was just on her elbows and forearms the whole time navigating around the house. And so, I appreciate her more for it. I think the story could be a toss up for people. You can either see this as gripping and thrilling, or over the top and cliched. And I could tell that this is not an entirely original movie because as I was watching it, I was definitely getting some Rear Window and Misery vibes. You could probably find a similar storyline from a movie from the Lifetime Movie Network, but I believe that the way it was shot and edited prevented it from being like a typical Lifetime TV movie. At least I think so. Even though it wasn't original, I haven't seen enough of these like trapped in a place kind of concepts, so I was surprised with what it did. For example, there's a handful of times when the mom isn't front and center, but there's evidence around the house that shows how crazy and diabolical she is. And when we see those things, I was just kind of like, wow, and oh heck no. And whenever Chloe is like checking the corner or like over the shoulder for her mom, the camera immediately shifts to where she's looking at as if the camera knows where we want to look also. Anish Chiganti, Savak Ohanian, and Nali Kasabian were the director, writer, and producers for this movie, and what I didn't know is that they're also the same creators behind Searching, and that movie made my top 10 list of 2018, so I highly recommend it. And it seems they have a knack for thrillers because though this movie was simple, I was heavily invested in it. And though this movie only had a short runtime of 90 minutes, it seemed like they were able to do so much because of the way they were able to pace this film. Also, there were some minor details that kind of led me to believe this is part of like the Stephen King universe, and it's either that or the producers were just fans of Stephen King and just wanted to give nods to him. I will say I had one issue with the movie though, and it's the reveal scene. When Chloe discovers something, I think realistically that wouldn't be in the house. I understand it's there for story purposes, but if Diane was really trying to hide everything, then she probably would have just destroyed that evidence. Anyway, simple story. Once again, it could be a toss up between how you perceive it, but what really sold me was the acting. I highly recommend this movie. I think it's a pretty good thriller, and I think it's a good alternative to a bunch of cheesy holiday movies if those aren't your thing. So, for all those reasons, I'm giving this movie an 8 out of 10. Alright, so there's my review of Run. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comment section down below, and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I really don't care. But if you want to see more movie reviews from this guy, go ahead and click the subscribe button right up here. Or if you want to see my last movie review, go ahead and click the video right up here. Other than that, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye, and stay safe out there.